Welcome back to our channel. Today we're taking a captivating journey into the life of one of Hollywood's most iconic stars, Kim Novak. Known for her ethereal beauty and unforgettable roles in classics like Vertigo and Picnic, Novak captivated audiences during the golden age of cinema. But beyond the glamour and stardom lies a deeply personal story filled with resilience, artistic passion, and battles against societal expectations. From her humble beginnings in Chicago to her rise as a silver screen legend, and from shocking scandals to her ultimate retreat into a life of tranquility and art, Kim Novak's life is as remarkable as any Hollywood script. Stick with us as we uncover the untold chapters of her fascinating journey, and don't miss the incredible transformation that will leave you in awe at age 91. Childhood Kim Novak was born Marilyn Pauline Novak on February 13, 1933, in Chicago, Illinois. Her childhood was a blend of the ordinary and the extraordinary, defined by both the struggles of the Great Depression and the resilience of a family determined to make it through tough times. Her parents were former teachers, intellectuals, with a deep respect for education and knowledge, but like many during that era, they had to adapt to survive. Her father took on the role of a train dispatcher, a job that carried its own weight of responsibility, as trains were vital to the economy and recovery during those difficult years. Her mother, while no longer teaching, brought a nurturing presence to their home. Novak would later reflect on how her parents' experiences and values instilled in her a strong work ethic and a sense of perseverance. The family's modest lifestyle didn't dim Novak's imagination, though. In fact, it fueled her creativity. She found joy in simple pleasures, drawing, daydreaming, and observing the world around her. Chicago's bustling streets and vibrant culture shaped Novak's early years. The mix of grit and glamour would later reflect in her on-screen presence. Even as a child, she was captivated by the arts, especially painting. Little did she know that this artistic spark would stay with her for life, becoming a vital part of her identity long after her Hollywood days. But life in Chicago wasn't always easy. During the Great Depression, Novak saw her parents make tough sacrifices just to get by. These experiences taught her resilience, a trait that would become invaluable as she faced the pressures of fame and the challenges of navigating Hollywood's unforgiving landscape. Novak's early years were also marked by a quiet sense of individuality. Even as a child, she stood out not just for her beauty, but for her thoughtful and introspective nature. She wasn't the type to chase the spotlight, yet she had an undeniable presence. Friends and neighbors often remarked on her ability to captivate a room without even trying, a quality that would later make her a star. Early aspirations and career beginnings. As Novak grew older, the values instilled during her childhood, resilience and creativity, would guide her journey into Hollywood. But her path to stardom wasn't straightforward. Kim Novak's Hollywood journey is one of resilience, talent, and a refusal to conform entirely to the expectations of an industry built on image. For Novak, the movies weren't just an escape from her struggles. They were a window into a world of possibility. Her love for cinema was deeply tied to her admiration for Greta Garbo. As a teenager, Novak idolized Garbo's elusive charm and quiet strength, dreaming of embodying even a fraction of that mystery and grace. Little did she know that she, too, would one day captivate audiences worldwide, becoming an icon in her own right. By the time she reached high school, it was clear Novak had a creative spirit that couldn't be contained. Her talent for art earned her a coveted scholarship to the prestigious School of the Art Institute of Chicago. However, life's practical demands took her on a different path. She chose to attend Wright Junior College instead, where she began taking on modeling gigs to make ends meet. What began as a way to support herself soon became a stepping stone to something much greater. In the summer of 1953, Novak's life took an unexpected turn during a promotional tour for a refrigerator company. Traveling across the country and presenting appliances at trade shows might seem far removed from the glamour of Hollywood, but fate was quietly working behind the scenes. The tour brought Novak to Los Angeles, the city of dreams, where a chance encounter would change her life forever. While in L.A., Novak stumbled upon a casting call for extras in The French Line, a Jane Russell film. Without prior acting ambition, she decided to audition on a whim. To her surprise, she landed the small role, and her undeniable beauty immediately caught the attention of Columbia Pictures. The studio executives were captivated. Here was someone who could potentially rival Marilyn Monroe, the reigning queen of Hollywood glamour. The transformation of Marilyn Pauline Novak into Kim Novak began swiftly. The studio envisioned her as their new starlet, someone who could draw audiences with her allure and mystery. To make her stand out, Columbia Pictures devised a unique persona, the Lavender Girl. Her wardrobe was saturated with lavender hues. Her blonde hair was given subtle lavender highlights, and even her apartment and personal items, right down to her telephone, were lavender-themed. While this branding helped Novak carve out a distinct niche in the industry, she secretly despised the color. Fans today often express amazement at how Novak navigated this period, balancing studio demands while staying true to herself. One particularly telling moment came when Novak refused to change her name entirely, despite immense pressure from the studio. Harry Cohn, Columbia's head, wanted her to adopt a more mysterious and glamorous name, such as Kit Marlowe. Novak, however, pushed back, insisting on keeping her last name. She later reflected on this decision, saying, "If I had given in, I would have disappeared into that false name. I wouldn't have been myself anymore." This boldness earned her admiration from fans and critics alike, who saw her as someone unwilling to be completely molded by Hollywood's machinery. Media coverage during Novak's early years was intense, with headlines proclaiming her as Hollywood's next big thing. Photographers flocked to capture her every move, while fans sent letters of admiration to studios, praising her unique beauty and enigmatic presence. "She's not just another blonde," one magazine wrote. "There's a quiet strength in her eyes, a vulnerability that draws you in." On social media today, fans frequently share vintage photos of Novak from this era, marveling at her timeless beauty and her ability to stand out in an industry crowded with starlets. As Novak's career began to rise, the public quickly embraced her as more than just a pretty face. Her story of being discovered by chance, paired with her undeniable talent, made her relatable to many aspiring artists and dreamers. One fan described her as a real-life Cinderella, while another commented on social media, "Kim Novak wasn't handed stardom. She carved it out for herself with quiet determination." The media also began to highlight her intelligence and artistic background, showcasing her depth beyond the Hollywood veneer. "She's not just a starlet," a journalist wrote in a profile piece. "She's an artist who paints her performances with the subtlety and care of a master." Novak's ability to remain grounded despite the studio's efforts to transform her image further endeared her to audiences. Fans admired her for staying true to her roots, and even today her journey is often cited as a testament to the power of individuality in an industry that thrives on conformity. Rise to stardom and iconic roles. Kim Novak's career-defining breakthrough came in 1955 with the romantic drama Picnic. This wasn't just another role, it was a performance that catapulted her into Hollywood stardom. Starring opposite William Holden, Novak portrayed Madge Owens, a young woman torn between societal expectations and her personal desires. The character's emotional complexity gave Novak the opportunity to showcase her depth as an actress, moving beyond her image as just another blonde starlet. Critics praised her performance, highlighting her ability to convey vulnerability and strength in equal measure. The role earned Novak a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer and a BAFTA nomination for Best Foreign Actress, cementing her reputation as a rising star to watch. Audiences were captivated not only by her striking beauty, but by the authenticity she brought to her character. Fans flooded theaters, drawn by Novak's magnetic screen presence. One reviewer at the time called her performance mesmerizing, noting how she had an uncanny ability to make even the smallest gestures feel emotionally significant. Decades later, fans on social media continue to share clips from Picnic, with many commenting on how Novak's portrayal of Madge remains timeless, embodying the universal struggle between following one's heart and meeting societal expectations. Following the success of Picnic, Novak took on a dramatically different role in The Man with the Golden Arm, 1955, starring alongside Frank Sinatra. The film, a gritty exploration of addiction and redemption, allowed Novak to prove her versatility as an actress. Her character Molly was a grounding force for Sinatra's troubled protagonist, and their on-screen chemistry added depth to the film. Behind the scenes, however, Novak's relationship with Sinatra was complex. She admired his artistry and professionalism, but found his mercurial nature challenging to navigate. While their first collaboration revealed Sinatra as caring and thoughtful, their reunion on Pal Joey exposed a different side of him, one Novak found arrogant and dismissive. These dynamics, though difficult, were an invaluable learning experience for the young actress, teaching her the realities of working with high-profile co-stars in Hollywood. Despite her successes, it was Novak's role in Alfred Hitchcock's psychological masterpiece Vertigo, 1958, that solidified her place in cinematic history. In Vertigo, Novak played two roles, Madeline Elster and Judy Barton, each embodying layers of mystery, deceit, and vulnerability. The dual role was one of the most challenging of her career, requiring her to navigate the complexities of identity, love, and manipulation. Novak herself resonated deeply with the film's themes, particularly the idea of transformation and being molded into someone else's ideal, a struggle she knew all too well as an actress in Hollywood's tightly controlled studio system. Working with Hitchcock was both an honor and a trial for Novak. The legendary director was known for her exacting standards and demanding nature, which often left her feeling intimidated. Yet despite the challenges, Novak later admitted that Vertigo was one of the few projects where she felt truly free to explore her character. Hitchcock, while controlling in many aspects, gave her surprising freedom to interpret the roles of Madeline and Judy, allowing her to bring her own nuances to the characters. Reflecting on the experience, Novak described it as transformative, saying, "It was the film where I felt most connected to the story, like it was speaking to something deep within me." When Vertigo premiered in 1958, the initial reception was mixed. Critics and audiences alike were divided on the film's experimental style, complex narrative, and ambiguous themes. Novak's performance, too, received polarized reviews. Some praised her haunting portrayal, while others felt her acting was subdued. But over time, Vertigo gained recognition as one of Alfred Hitchcock's greatest works and a masterpiece of American cinema. In 2012, a poll by the British Film Institute's Sight and Sound magazine declared Vertigo the greatest film of all time, surpassing even Citizen Kane. For Novak, this long overdue recognition was deeply validating. She once remarked, "For all my misgivings about my choices in Hollywood, seeing Vertigo celebrated like that made me feel like my journey was truly worth it." Fans today agree, frequently sharing their admiration for her performance in the film, with comments such as, "Kim Novak wasn't just acting, she became Madeline and Judy, and that's why Vertigo stays with you." Scandal and relationships. Did you know that in the 1950s, Hollywood's golden age had its own forbidden love story? One that shook the foundations of its glitzy, star-studded world? That story involves none other than Kim Novak, a rising silver screen star, and Sammy Davis Jr., a trailblazing entertainer and cultural icon. Their romance wasn't just a love affair, it was a lightning rod for controversy, revealing the ugly truths about race and power in an era shrouded in glamour. At the time, Novak was at the peak of her career, celebrated for her stunning beauty and captivating performances. Meanwhile, Sammy Davis Jr. was carving out his place in entertainment history as one of the most talented and versatile performers of his generation. But the world wasn't ready for their love. The racial prejudices of the 1950s cast a shadow over their relationship, fueling a scandal that Hollywood desperately tried to suppress. The backlash was swift and brutal. Rumors swirled, fueled by a media frenzy eager to exploit the forbidden nature of their romance. But behind the scenes, the situation was far more sinister. Mobsters, allegedly acting on orders from Harry Cohn, the notoriously controlling head of Columbia Pictures, issued threats to Davis. These weren't idle warnings. They were calculated moves to protect Novak's image and preserve the studio's box office returns. The stakes were high and the pressure was relentless. Ultimately, the couple was forced to part ways. The decision wasn't born out of a lack of love, but rather the suffocating weight of societal and industry expectations. Novak, who had once believed in the magic of Hollywood, found herself disillusioned. The very world that had catapulted her to stardom had now stripped her of something deeply personal and precious. Despite the heartbreak, Novak later reflected on their bond, emphasizing that the media had twisted the narrative. To her, their connection was real and meaningful, a friendship that transcended the chaos and misunderstanding around them. Fast forward to the late 1960s, and Novak's life took a quieter, more fulfilling turn. She met Dr. Robert Malloy, a kind-hearted veterinarian who would bring stability and love into her life. By 1976, Novak left behind the relentless spotlight of Hollywood to marry Malloy and embrace a new chapter. Together, they settled on a serene ranch in Oregon, where Novak discovered a profound sense of peace. Here, far from the glare of the camera, she reinvented herself. As a stepmother, she poured her heart into her family, finding joy in the simple, meaningful moments of life. And as an artist, she channeled her emotions and experiences into painting, creating a world that was entirely her own. For Novak, this life wasn't a retreat, but a choice, a declaration of what truly mattered to her. Later career and transition to art, Kim Novak's story didn't end with the silver screen. In the 1970s and beyond, she continued to evolve, finding new ways to express her creativity while navigating the challenges of personal struggles and public scrutiny. Her roles during this period, such as The Mirror Cracked 1980 and her memorable appearance on the TV series Falcon Crest, demonstrated her ability to adapt and thrive, even as the entertainment industry changed around her. In The Mirror Cracked, Novak delivered a poignant performance as an aging actress seeking a career revival, a character that echoed her own experiences in Hollywood. Sharing the screen with legends like Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson, she held her own, proving that her talent and screen presence remained as captivating as ever. Fans praised her ability to portray vulnerability and grace, with one viewer commenting, "It felt like Kim Novak was telling her own story through the character." Her role in Falcon Crest added another layer to her legacy. Playing Kit Marlowe, a name that harkened back to the one Columbia Pictures once suggested for her, Novak brought elegance and intrigue to the primetime soap opera. The character's enigmatic and glamorous nature mirrored the mystique Novak had cultivated throughout her career, reminding audiences why she was one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. Fans were thrilled to see her return to the spotlight, and TV audiences who hadn't grown up with her films quickly became enamored with her charm and sophistication. However, Novak's heart was no longer fully in acting. By the 1980s, she began to transition away from Hollywood, choosing instead to focus on her lifelong passion for art. Painting, photography, and poetry became her refuge, a way to channel her emotions and creativity outside the intense scrutiny of the film industry. "Art was my salvation," Novak once said. "It allowed me to express the parts of myself that words and roles could never capture." Her artwork, often impressionistic and surreal, reflected her inner world shaped by a lifetime of triumphs and challenges. Novak's decision to step back from acting was also influenced by her struggles with bipolar disorder and the lingering trauma of her childhood. These personal battles had long been a part of her story, though they were not widely understood or openly discussed during her peak years in Hollywood. In an era when mental health was still stigmatized, Novak's choice to prioritize her well-being over her career was both brave and forward-thinking. For her fans, this decision only deepened their admiration for her resilience. But Novak wasn't entirely immune to the harshness of public judgment. In 2014, her rare public appearance at the Academy Awards became a moment of controversy when critics and media outlets focused on her physical appearance rather than her legacy as an actress. Hurtful remarks, including a tweet by Donald Trump, sparked a media frenzy. Novak, however, refused to remain silent. She addressed her detractors in an open letter, acknowledging her decision to undergo cosmetic procedures and expressing regret over how it had been received. Yet she also challenged the unrealistic beauty standards imposed on women, particularly those in the public eye. "Is there anyone out there who hasn't made mistakes in their lives?" she asked, reminding the world that even icons are human. Fans rallied behind her, flooding social media with messages of support. Many praised her courage for speaking out and admired her willingness to confront her insecurities publicly. "Kim Novak has more grace and bravery than her critics could ever hope to have," one fan tweeted, while others shared heartfelt tributes to her enduring legacy. Her response transformed what could have been a moment of humiliation into one of empowerment, inspiring conversations about ageism and self-acceptance in Hollywood. Beyond the controversies, Novak's artistic journey flourished. She immersed herself in photography, capturing moments of beauty and tranquility that reflected her newfound sense of peace. Her poetry, often introspective and heartfelt, offered glimpses into her soul, resonating with those who had followed her career. And her paintings, showcased in exhibitions like the retrospective at the Butler Institute of American Art in 2019, received widespread acclaim. Critics praised her work as emotional and evocative, a testament to her ability to reinvent herself as an artist. Today, Kim Novak lives a quiet life on a ranch in Oregon, far from the glare of Hollywood. Surrounded by nature and animals, she finds joy in her creative pursuits and the simple pleasures of rural life. For her fans, Novak's story is not just one of stardom, but of reinvention, resilience, and the courage to walk away from the spotlight to pursue a more authentic existence, legacy, and later, life today, Kim Novak's life couldn't be more different from her Hollywood heyday. Nestled in the serene beauty of her Oregon ranch, she lives surrounded by nature, animals, and the peace she longed for during her years in the spotlight. Her ranch, a picturesque escape of rolling hills, vibrant pastures, and open skies, reflects the simplicity and authenticity that define her life now. For Novak, this isn't just home, it's her sanctuary, a place where she has found fulfillment far removed from the pressures of Hollywood. But even though Novak has traded the red carpets for dirt paths and movie scripts for paintbrushes, her legacy in Hollywood remains untouchable. She's remembered not only as one of the most iconic actresses of the 20th century, but also as a symbol of resilience, independence, and staying true to oneself. Fans still celebrate her timeless performances in classics like Vertigo, Belle, Book and Candle, and Picnic. These films have become a masterclass in acting, with Novak's performances praised for their depth, vulnerability, and quiet strength. On social media, younger generations are rediscovering her work, sharing clips and tributes that highlight her beauty and talent. One fan tweeted, "Kim Novak wasn't just a star, she was a force of nature. Watching her in Vertigo is like watching pure magic unfold." Another fan posted, "I love how Kim Novak broke the mold of what it meant to be a Hollywood star. She refused to be anyone but herself, and that's why she's still so inspiring today." Media outlets, too, have reflected on her enduring influence. In a recent retrospective, a film critic wrote, "Kim Novak's performances were never about the glitz. They were about the humanity. She gave us characters that were flawed, complex, and achingly real. And that's why her legacy continues to shine so brightly." But Novak's influence extends far beyond the screen. Her decision to leave Hollywood at the height of her fame was a bold move that continues to inspire conversations about the importance of mental health and self-care. In interviews, Novak has been refreshingly candid about her struggles with the industry's relentless demands and the toll it took on her well-being. Her honesty has struck a chord with fans, many of whom have praised her for prioritizing her peace and happiness over the pressures of stardom. For Novak, life on the ranch is about more than just escaping the spotlight. It's about rediscovering herself. She has poured her heart and soul into her artwork, creating stunning paintings that reflect her journey. Each brushstroke tells a story, capturing moments of joy, pain, and resilience. Her art has earned its own following, with galleries showcasing her work and fans marveling at her ability to reinvent herself as a visual artist. One admirer commented on her latest gallery exhibition, saying, "Kim Novak's paintings feel like an extension of her soul. It's amazing to see how her creativity transcends acting and comes alive in her art." Novak's story continues to inspire countless fans and aspiring artists alike. She is proof that life doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. Instead, it's a chance to create a new chapter, one filled with authenticity, creativity, and purpose. So, as Novak tends to her horses, paints in her studio, or simply enjoys the quiet beauty of a sunset over her ranch, she does so as a woman who has truly found her place in the world. Her journey reminds us that fame is fleeting, but staying true to oneself is eternal. Kim Novak's legacy shines as brightly today as it did during her Hollywood heyday. From her groundbreaking performances to her fearless defiance of the industry's pressures, she remains a symbol of strength, talent, and authenticity. At 91, Novak continues to inspire, living a peaceful life surrounded by art, nature, and love. Her journey proves that beauty isn't just skin deep, it's found in resilience, passion, and staying true to oneself. Thank you for joining us on this incredible exploration of Kim Novak's life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories of Hollywood legends. See you next time.